Hi everyone, welcome to Unwind Design. My name is Kim. I'm your teacher for today. So let's get started with what we have in front of us. We have our 11 by 14 size canvas paper. Make sure you have your water. Make sure you have your towel. Make sure you have a fan or a hair dryer. And then make sure you have these brushes. We're gonna get started first with our large background brush, our really big one. We're barely getting started right now, so if you guys are a little late, don't worry. We're gonna be starting with our big brush. Then we're gonna use our square brush. It's a size 5/8. We have our square brush. Then we have our round tip brush. That comes to a point. This one right here, it's the number 5. And then we have our really, really skinny brush, which is our 1.5 or our 2 for our sizes. So these are the same brushes we use for every class. So when we're done with this, make sure that you wash it and that you tie it in a rubber band so we can use it next time. Then we have our pencil. We're going to be drawing today, so make sure you have your pencil. Okay, and the colors we're going to be using are going to be black, blue, red, yellow, white, and brown. First things first, we're going to get started with our pencil. We're going to be doing some sketching today. Here we go. And we're going to be sketching out our pumpkin first, okay? So we are going to be coming in and we are going to leave a hand worth of space below. You see that? Here's my hand. We're going to make a straight line there. Right in the middle. And from here, we're going to make it a little bit bigger, and then we're going to close our pumpkin on top. So here we can have one circle, circles coming out of the side. Let me zoom in. Okay, so here's my line. I did a circle right in the middle, half line, a half curve. Another one coming out, another one. If we're going to the left, we're making our lines going that way. So again, a little arch right in the middle. Perfect. And from here, we're going to come up. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go a little wider. Okay. See that, how it's a little bigger? It looks almost like an apple, right? So from here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a bump. We're going to make another bump. Another one. And then 2 on this side. So 1 in the middle and then 1, 2. Again, an arch right in the middle and then another 2 arches. 1. And then finally the big one. 2. Bottom, we do the middle arch. 1, 2. The middle arch. 1, 2. So it's the same thing upside down. See? But it's just a little bit smaller. So we're coming in again, adding some blue all the way around. I went back and forth, added some white. Once it's nice and soft and wet, you can come in and whatever color you add is going to get blended. So pretty in there. I love this. Here we go. Coming in with a little bit more blue. See that? And we're just playing with these colors. If you want it lighter, add more white. If you want it darker, add more blue. See, and we're just doing a bunch of lines. Don't think about it. Super abstract, super just expressionistic, super just out there, okay? Just a lot of brush strokes with a lot of intention behind. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and blow dry this. All right, guys. So the next thing we're going to do is right over here in this corner, we are actually going to use our white. I'm using my skinny little tiny brush. Okay, and I'm going to write the words thankful right across the top here. Make sure you leave a lot of space over here. You're only going to draw it on this side, on the left. Okay, so I'm going to come in. And I'm going to draw the words thankful on there. You want to make sure that you have a lot of water in your white so that it's easier to use your brush to make the letters. Thank. In order to make these cursive letters, you need to go thin when you go up. Full. Same thing on the F. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker right there. And you need to press down harder when you go down to get the thicker lines. So make sure that you press thin, hardly press to make the letters thin, and then press hard to make the letters thick. Thankful. And there we go. So we wrote the words thankful on there. Okay, so after we do our thankful, we are going to come in and using our round tip brush, we're going to use a little bit of brown. And with our brown, we are going to begin to do the stem first, okay? So we're going to come from the back of our pumpkin and we're going to do a stem. Let me show you what that's going to look like. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. Cool. So from here, leave a lot of space on top because we're going to do a sunflower there. So we're coming in with our brown, adding a little bit of water to it. And we're going to come from the back of our pumpkin. You see that? And we're going to start to just bring it. And we're just going to curve it to the side. Kind of like our little Hershey's Kiss. Okay, so we're coming in and we're just curving it to the side there. So you're like, teacher, that doesn't really look like a stem. Hold on, we still got some things to do here, okay? On the stem, we're gonna add two type of lines with our skinny brush. So remember, our brown was with our 5, and our skinny brush is what we're gonna use next. We're gonna pick up some white with our little brush, the same brush we used to do our letters, and we're gonna add some white lines on this side. See that? Boom, 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 from one side to the other. And we're gonna go all the way up. Gonna come in and we painted that white. The next color we're gonna add is gonna be a little bit of black with our brown. And that's gonna be going the other way. So that's gonna give us a dark brown. It's black mixed into our brown. And we're gonna make lines going the other way from the other side. And that is our stem. I'm gonna give you guys like a minute or two to work on that. All right, so we're gonna be using our square brush now. We're gonna be working on our pumpkin. We're gonna start by mixing some yellow with our red. So we get an orange that's in the middle. We don't want it to be too dark. We don't want it to be too bright. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of that yellow. And we found it right in the middle. Perfect. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint in all of our pumpkin, all of it, okay? With this orange. Nice and dark. If you wanna add some yellow, you can add some yellow. Okay. So we're just gonna come in and we're gonna start filling in all of this pumpkin. Pick up a little bit of the water. Remember, we want our paint to be nice and soft and creamy so we can spread it. Okay. And we're gonna start to do our orange all the way across. Okay, you see that? So remember, it's an orange that's right in the middle all the way across. So we're having a dark orange. Here we go. And you can fix the shape. If you don't like the shape of it, you can fix it. You can go in with a little bit of yellow. So you can go over the edges. If you're gonna go over the blue a little bit, you can come in with a little bit more yellow and start scratching some yellow on the top there. You see that? Came in with the yellow and I just scratched it over the top. Don't press hard. You want to go very lightly. See how I have a lot? And I'm going to lie my brush flat and just scratch it upwards. You see that? How we're starting to get that really thick color on top. Same thing, coming back with a little bit more of that yellow. And I'm going to scratch it upwards. Gonna add a little bit more of that yellow right here. On the top there, you see how we're starting to separate the pumpkin by just scraping that yellow over the top? And that's what it's looking like. You're coming in with that yellow. We're scraping it on top. From the bottom, we're scraping it in the bottom too. See, and I'm just grabbing it and I'm not pressing really hard. I'm just going over the top, boom, really fast. Look at that. If you want to add some dark color, you can pick up a little bit of the brown with the black and you're going to do the same thing we're doing with our yellow, except that you're going to do it at the bottom. So boom, adding a little bit of that dark color. See that? Starting to add some color there. Again, come back with a little bit of that yellow. And we're starting to get that really cool shape that we're looking for there. Come back with a little bit more of that yellow. Let's scrape it over the top. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to work on your pumpkin. Make sure you dry it. And then we're going to be moving on. Okay, we need to make sure that this pumpkin is very dry, okay? All right, guys. So from here, we are going to be using our liner brush, which is a really, really small one. And what we're going to do is we're going to make some outlines so we know where to put our flowers. So I'm going to start off first up here. This is going to be the first sunflower we're going to work on. I'm picking up my little skinny brush and we're going to draw a circle on top. You see that? There's one circle right there. Then we're going to go to the bottom. And at the bottom, we're going to do another circle right there. It's like an oval. Okay, it's more like an oval than a circle. You see that? So here's a small one on top, and here's a big one at the bottom. See that? 1, 2. From here, we're going to use our round tip, our number 5, and we're going to start to make the petals that go around our sunflower. The colors we're going to be using for this are going to be yellow and white, okay? So I'm going to pick up a little bit of my yellow, which I actually ran out of. So I need to get a little bit more. Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to get a little bit of my yellow and my white, and let me show you how we're going to mix it. You're going to grab both colors, get some water on your brush, and you're going to come in and pick up some yellow, and you're going to pick up a little bit of white. See how I have both colors on there? Perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to make the sunflower petals. So you're going to make a line, and then you're going to press. All right, or press and then pull from the center. Okay. Oh, let me clean that out. Accidentally added some white back here. Let me erase that. And I'll come back and fix it later. Cool. So you're coming in and you're pressing from the outside, press and then lift, press and then lift, press and then lift. Don't press hard. Okay. If you want to come in from the corner too, you can come back from the tip and see how we're starting to get those sunflower petals. Okay, so we're just going to do that all the way around. Okay, press, going small, press, going small. And let's do that all the way around. After you add your yellow, you can come back and you can scrape a little bit of orange in there too. So you can come in with a little bit of your red and just scratch it inside a little bit, or your orange. Come in and just scratch it into the petal. You see that? How we're starting to get all those really pretty colors now inside? Just really light. Don't press it, don't mix it, just scratch it on top. And look at how pretty we're getting that color just because we're scratching this color right on top of it. That looks super cute. And we're going to do the same thing in the bottom, okay? I'm going to show you guys the bottom one now so you guys can see from scratch how I'm doing it. Again, the petals in the bottom are going to be bigger. The petals on the top are going to be smaller because it's a smaller flower. These are going to be a little bit bigger. We're going to come in. You're going to scrape a little bit of that red in there to give it some more texture, some more depth. If you want to go back on top of it with some more yellow, you can scrape it with more yellow and just play with the colors so that we get all these varieties inside. Again, a little bit of red. Let's go ahead and scrape that in there a little bit. Okay, and let's keep playing with this back and forth. When you're done, go ahead and dry it, and then we'll be moving on. Once we're done with our flowers, we're gonna come in with a little bit of brown and water, and we're gonna start to fill in the center of our sunflowers. You see that? With that brown. We're gonna do that to both of them. Paint on top of the petals where they connect so that they look like they're going behind the flower. Okay, so we're going all around, adding a little bit of that brown. For the middle section, you can come in with a little bit of black and mix it into your brown, and you can put that black right in the middle so that it looks like there's a spot. Okay, so we're gonna add that spot on there. You can even add more black to make it darker. See that? Again, black with brown over here. And there we go. The final thing we're gonna add here is to pick up a little bit of yellow, and we're gonna be adding some drops on top of this brown. Same brush, the round tip. Our number 5 is our round tip. And we're just gonna begin to add a couple of lines right here of those dots. Okay, so there's a little bit right there. I'm gonna grab the same color, maybe even a little bit of white, and I'm gonna make it a little bit brighter on this side. Okay, so again, I'm gonna do a little bit of white with yellow on this side. And I'm just gonna do yellow over here. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see it a little bit better, guys. So again, yellow up here, white down here. From there, all you need to do is to grab your liner and your detail brush, the small one, the liner brush. I'm moving the camera. My chair is way too short. I'm sorry. Let me lift it. I can't reach it. There we go. I reach it better now. Whew. So that's what it looks like really close. You see that? If you want to use your really little brush, actually, you can even go in there and do little dots with your little brush. So again, you can do little dots. If you want to add more details to the flowers, you can come in with a little bit of yellow and red. And you can add some lines in there if you want to. See that? You can add a little bit of red lines in your petals. So I'm going to give you guys some time to finish this. You can do that to all of them, and then we'll be moving on. We are going to do one final thing, and that is to come all the way to the bottom, pick up our liner brush, pick a little bit of this super fancy white, you know, because white is fancy automatically. Just kidding. And right at the bottom, you're going to come in and do your really cool, fancy signature. If you don't have one, start making one up. You guys are artists. So play with your initials so you can make a really cool signature. That way, every time you draw, people will recognize your work by looking at how you sign your name. Okay, eventually they're going to see your style and they'll start to recognize that as well. But for now, get a really cool signature. That way you guys can get a little bit more comfortable with that. Coming in with some of that white, adding a little bit more of that highlight on here. These are just final details that I'm adding that don't necessarily have to be there, but I like to add some final details on my stuff. I like it to stand out. Pretty cool, huh? And it looks like we're done. Just as an extra tip, if you want to add a final detail, go ahead and add some white dots and stars to the background. Just go ahead, grab your detail brush, add white dots all around. Here it is a little bit fast forward for you. Add some of those dots all the way around. And then you can even add some stars. To do a star, you would just basically make a large cross on one of those dots and then a small X in between that to create a sparkle effect. Again, it would be a cross and then a small X inside. And I'm going to show you in just a little bit how to add those stars on there. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to check out our videos on our website at www.unwindanddesign.org.